I have finally talked him into doing something fun.
Well, kind of.
Well, it's not that we're going to require it to work on our shop.
This is true. This is not anything we're going to keep.
Yeah, this is an honest to God restoration.
Yeah. We're saving this one from the scrap bin. Because to be honest, these have lots of copper and people will scrap them. But this is also one of the better welders ever made.
So this is a stick welder.
It's a stick welder. It is only an AC version. It's not a DC version. The DC switch would have been right here if it had DC on it. But this is one of the best buzz box type welders ever made. You've heard of the Lincoln tombstone welders. This is a Lincoln mailbox welder.
Well, I'd say it looks like a tombstone.
This is a mailbox.
A mailbox?
Yeah, see, it's shaped like a blue mailbox. These were called mailboxes. And the tombstones are shaped a little bit more like a tombstone, and they're thinner. This one is able to weld all day on your farm.
How old do you think this is?
This is probably out of the 60s.
Okay, I will try to look it up.
Yeah.
You said by the serial number?
Yeah, we have serial number and everything here. All this is still good. You watch, that's even moving. So we're going to take this apart, clean it up.
We're kind of hoping.
Put some leads on it.
Kind of hoping that since this was at one time school property, sold at an auction, sold at another auction, that just by requirements told them to take all the cords off of it. And so we're crossing our fingers. All we got to do is clean it and replace the cords.
I figured the school just cut the cords off because the kids thought it was easier to stack them.
Could be.
But we're going to see if we can restore this one and find it a new home with somebody. Let it live a whole nother life.
So the first thing I'm going to do is take the panels off, look for dirt dauber nests, and clean it up. And we'll...
she's going to get it clean.
We're going to start on that tomorrow.
She's going to get it clean, and I'm going to make it work after it's nice and clean. She's still trying to decide if we're painting it or going with it back with this patina look. She's leaning to patina.
Clean it.
That way it just looks like an old welder.
Well, it's tomorrow, and I'm going to tackle trying to clean this up. I'm going to bring you in and show you what all it looks like. It looks essentially to me is like it's had something maybe even coated on it because it's got, looks like brush strokes, or maybe it was just brushed off. I don't know, but it's got years of grime on it. And I'm sure many of you probably are like, well, what's the big deal? Because we want to sell this to someone who can use it. But it's just kind of neat, and that's one of the things that we like to do is restore things. And it's just kind of fun to find something to start with and go from there. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments, and maybe we'll try that the next time. As a matter of fact, we have 2 of these. And let me show you what we're dealing with. Well, we have the wax writing on it, at least I hope that's wax, from the auction. And then it's got this grime on it. See, you can almost tell that it's like it's been wiped on. It looks like most of the pieces are going to be able to come off pretty good. It's got all these screws, sheet metal screws in it. And in fact, should we decide to paint it, we've even got the labels are metal themselves. And so we can even take those off in order to help clean it up. It's been exposed to the weather, at least I do know at the auction site. And so plenty of opportunities for dirt daubers to get in there, which can affect metal. And I'm pretty sure that when I went to go pick these up, a red wasp flew into one of them. Now, after traveling 50 miles to bring it home, the red wasp should be out of there by now, but it can't help the function of it. So let's get started. We're going to start with just trying to get general clean on it, but I also want to be careful that I don't mess up the paint. So start with everybody's favorite spray away glass cleaner, and just get a little spot on here and see what happens. Well, that's definitely getting the oil and grease off. Not taking off the numbering too well. Maybe I just need to add a little bit more elbow grease to it. And I don't know if y'all can hear him or not, but our Sheldon has realized that I'm outside. Sheldon is our inside-outside cat. That is definitely bringing off the gunk. All right, well, that seems to be doing pretty good. Well, let's get this whole thing sprayed down and cleaned and see where it goes from there. Hi, Sheldon. Way of cleaning this off. So I'm gonna go see if I can find some shop towels that can save some trees. Because it's coming off, it's just taking time. One of the things that you don't see happening is the number of times that I go in the house because I forgot this or I forgot that. I can easily get distracted, so it's good for me to work on something like this when Morgan's not up or Andy's not at home. That way, we're not on top of each other, or, well, I can limit the amount of distractions that I have. So the washcloth seems to be doing a lot better. And guys, just because I went in and got a washcloth doesn't give you permission to go in the house and steal washcloths to do your shop work. I'm the one that does the laundry. I have the right to give permission out what can be used and what doesn't. So keep that in mind. A lot less headaches in your house. It's not an issue of ask later and get permission later. This is get permission first. You'll have a lot less headaches in your life. One of the biggest problems I have is having enough patience to allow the cleaner to work. I did try WD-40. I did try some carb cleaner. Carb cleaner dried off too quick. I don't think it was the right kind of cleaner. I'm trying to, find something that does not affect the paint, because I don't want to sandblast this and repaint it. I want to keep this old red orange paint to it. I think it looks pretty cool. So it just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience. Can you hear me? There we go. All right, so we have gotten it cleaner than what it was, not quite up to my expectations. I did find that using the Scotch-Brite pad wasn't the greatest idea, because you can see where it's kind of scratching it. I may have to come back with like a rubbing compound to see if I can smooth some of that out, but it's a whole lot cleaner. Now at this point is going to be taking it apart. See if I can get these panels off. So it looks like I got several of these to do. So I'm not gonna make y'all sit through, and of course I keep dropping everything. I'm gonna lose a toe. Hello. Got it kind of pinched. There we go. So we'll get these taken off and I'll show you the reveal on the inside. Well, it wasn't under like a whole lot of spring metal, so it's not attacking me. So let's see what happens here. As we try to open this up. May have to go to the other side. Now, I told you that when I picked one of these up, you may see a runaway because we picked one of these up and I swear there was a red wasp flew into one of them. Probably should have sprayed some fly spray in there before trying this. So wow, it's not that bad in here. No wasp nests that I see. Now I'm not going to try to clean all this up in here. We may try to get some of the loose rust out of here. Oh, there's dirt dauber nests. I couldn't believe we were going to get without get away with not having at least one of them. Ooh. Sorry for the jump there. I may be country, but I still don't like crawly things. Oh, it's not bad in here. Not bad at all. That's the only dirt dauber nest that I see so far. I don't know if I don't know anything else about this. This is going to be Andy's job. But I'll get that other panel out so we got a place to work. Okay, so after I got it cleaned up, I'm going to need Andy's help at this point in getting it fixed. So we need a power cord.
Yep. And leads.
Okay, those cables.
Yeah, because the nice thing about these machines, though, is there's just not much you have to do with them. They're an on and off switch and a great big copper transformer.
So we did a little bit of research and found out this is probably 1955-56 welder.
So it's a 70-year-old welder.
We're going to see if we can make it work.
We're going to go in and do the strain relief here, and you can tell this is an old one. You can see how that's a flat screw.
Yeah.
Now, this ground doesn't really have anywhere to go. We might make the ground actually do something later. Back then, they weren't too concerned about whether or not your welder would shock you. So, because you have your two lines coming in right here, but you don't really have a neutral, well, ground in this case. So, we're just going to hook up hots and not touch it. Get those screws out a little further.
So this was the copper, big block of copper you were talking about?
Yeah, this is the big transformer. You don't find these on modern welders. Modern welders are inverters. And while they're neat and lightweight, if you look down here, this right down here at the bottom is huge copper wiring. That's what gives these the ability to weld all day, every day. They don't really overheat.
I can imagine what this would actually be worth in copper nowadays.
Yeah,
I mean, because people are they're taking it out of houses. Here in Hugo, apparently radio towers. Yeah, our local radio station, a couple months back, somebody actually was stealing the copper from the radio tower.
so they dropped the whole radio tower. just
I
to take
don't
the
know that
coax off.
they dropped. Did they actually
Yes.
drop the tower or?
Yes, they took the tower down.
Wow.
That's what was so devastating.
Okay, so since that's still exposed, do we need to do anything with the green part of the?
I'll probably come back and put some tape on it later.
Okay.
It's just the ground, so.
Is our welding leads.
Yep.
So I didn't ask this with the power cord, but how do you know which side is hot and which
It's
side?
AC. There isn't any hot.
Oh, okay.
I know I got red and black cables, and we're going to put the red on the Stinger. For no other reason than I want to put the red on the Stinger.
Well, I figured that you're gonna make me try it, so I don't
So-
want to be electrocuted. You know me and electricity don't mix.
So hand me a welding cable.
Oh, that's these right here?
Yeah, just hand me the black one or other one. I don't really care which. Oh, I guess I should have got me a razor blade. Any reason you don't catch shots of me walking?
I didn't think of it.
Okay. So what we're going to do, let's just kind of pull back. I'd say this isn't the best cable out there, but it's good multi-strand. It's going to get the job done pretty good.
So without a, what is that, shrink wrap?
Yeah, this is just shrink wrap. It's not that important for this particular job, but it came with these. So
Well, I don't exactly want stuff exposed.
well, it's going to be clamped in right here, so it really can't be exposed that well. And
Okay, so I hadn't seen one of those. What is that tool?
this is the crimper.
Where did you get that at?
That's just an Amazon special. What this does, you hold everything together.
You need to hold your mouth, right?
Yeah, you gotta.
Hold it.
Well, you're holding too close. I can always zoom in. It's in 4K. Okay. When you just squeeze. If you did it right, you can release. You see I made that nice little crimp around there?
Oh, sweet.
And then we
Very
can come
nice.
back, put that over it.
So I guess I need to go find a lighter.
Yeah, we need a cigarette lighter.
All right, I'll go see if I can find one of those.
I'll go crimp. I'm gonna
And then we're gonna do the same thing
I'm
to
gonna crimp
the
up
red one.
Red one, same way on one end, and then we'll put a stinger on the other end.
Okay.
All right. Now then, we got these two ends looking good. I'm gonna strip that one. Leave that right here. I have to give you an easier zoom. All right, we're gonna take this off just to make this a little easier. I should. Push that right up through there. Yeah. This part isn't as nice as these crimps, but we're going to make it work anyway. I didn't think to buy crimps with this size of hole. We can go ahead and slide this on here to help maybe it'll stay in place better. Okay.
All right, so I need to go shrink that one up.
Yeah, go heat shrink that like that. Back on like that. Okay.
So that's the ground, right?
That's the grounding clamp. Now we need to do our stinger. Then you gotta get this handle off. So there's a little set screw right here. You can turn that, a little set screw, and that slides off.
See, if I was doing this, I would forget something and get
You want to
the
slide that on.
it attached before sliding the handle in.
Make sure you at least strip enough right here. Okay. Okay, that fits in there pretty good. Now you got two set screws right here, but you don't want them just go directly against this wire.
Right.
So you take this little panel right here.
You gotta get all of them in there.
Uh-huh. Then you hold that up like that. And I always just get one of these started. It doesn't really make a lot of difference which one. As soon as it's snug, then you can get the other one going in there.
And so since this one's got the handle, we don't have to heat shrink it, do we?
Nope. Because this is the end that you use to work with all the time. And you just get that in there good and tight. But you don't want it to arc right here. That's good and tight. Then this slides up. You see that's the other end of that set screw. It presses up against the inside of this handle. Tighten that up.
Okay. So it should be ready. No, we gotta hook it up first, don't we?
We gotta put the leads on here.
Yeah, don't lose all my handle screws.
So the lead goes in there. It has these little retention hoops.
Ah, okay. I wondered what those were.
But that way, if you pull against it, you're not pulling directly against your crimp. Okay. Should probably find a wrench that fits these.
All right, I'll go do that.
Because that needs to be pretty tight.
Couldn't do that better if I tried.
And socket or wrench, either one will work. And one thing about it, you don't have to worry about metric.
No?
This was 1955. They literally would have said metric's communist. In 1955.
Well, that was better than what I was going to say. I was going to say metric hadn't been invented yet, but I am not a math person.
And if they said metric was communist, they would have technically been right. Because Russia was using the metric system. Hey, this was a different era back then.
Who knew you could learn something on our show? So I've got a question. Why do we have electrical tape?
Because there was a thin spot in that cable. This isn't exactly the best lead cable on the planet.
Okay.
Never said this is the highest end of materials. We're making a farmer welder. Because that's what this will be really good for. It's welding up your rusty farm equipment.
Okay, so anything else now that we got to figure out before we play with electricity?
Well, first thing is, we should be done. First thing to do, smoke test. Switch is off. Smoke's not bowling out of the machine, so.
I'm gonna stand back.
All right.
Do I need to get like a piece of wood?
This isn't a welding test. This is just let's see if smoke bowls out. And see if the fan comes on.
Fan came on.
Because you really don't want to weld without the fan, even though this will take it a little bit. It's not the fastest fan, but it's probably only running on 50 volts. Because you notice how the fan is wired over here? The wiring going into the capacitor on the fan comes directly out of the welding lead. See? That wire right there going to that capacitor, right off the welding lead.
Okay.
So it's running on welding voltage. All right, well, let's set up something and try welding.
All right, well, let's go find some metal.
All right, I'm not used to a welder that turns on that quietly, but the fan's actually turning.
Is it supposed to be buzzing or anything?
Not really.
Oh,
These
wow.
things are just powerful.
Okay.
Okay, now here goes nothing using 6011, which, let's be honest, it's an AC welder. You're going to be running 6011 welding up farm equipment. So, I'm only a little out of practice, so let's see if I can even strike an arc. I usually do MIG or TIG.
Hey, we have sparks.
I burned right through it, which I kind of expected with 5/30 seconds rod. But did you
I'm
hear
gonna
how
say, were you supposed to do that?
I wasn't expecting it. Did you hear how smooth that sounded though once the
That
skill
was
of the
pretty
welder stopped being a problem and the welder kicked in? All right, well, Sarah's going to give it a shot, and since she's afraid of electricity and sparks, she's putting on a little bit more gear. And
I'm gonna try to keep my feet out of the way.
She has her safety sandals on. But
Safety sandals.
As I pointed out, though, this isn't like a MIG. It doesn't throw hot cherries between your toes.
I mean, I'm just gonna see if I can get sparks because last time I welded was high school, and we're not gonna talk about how many years ago that was. And the reason why I was asking about what you do when it sticks is because that was one thing that I passed welding barely. Okay.
Well, technically, you're not supposed to stick. Just push in and turn.
Oh, push and turn. See how much I do welding? And you pull it down?
Yeah, it just flips down. It doesn't, yeah, I don't have mine set that loose. Yeah, but back in high school, you didn't have an auto-darkening helmet either.
No, and you couldn't see anything. I don't have gloves on.
As soon as she gets all her safety gear on. It's actually a little easier if you hold the electrode with the glove. The electrode doesn't really get that hot unless you stick it and leave it stuck.
Are you supposed to touch it?
Yeah, you just touch it.
It's going?
You got to turn it on.
Do you have to wait?
No, it's hot now.
Okay. Oh, God. You didn't see me jump.
That was an arc.
Ah, it sticks.
Yeah, the trick is to get the arc going and then feed it carefully into the arc at the correct feed rate.
Hey, I did it.
All right, well,
I tried to blow it out through the hood.
yeah,
Actually, it was kind of pretty.
she made a pretty good one. I made a pretty good mess with it. Like I say, the thing is about stick welding, if you want to stay even decent at stick welding, you should stick weld fairly often. Just saying. I can get away with not welding with my MIG, pretty long distances between it. Stick, not so much.
That was actually kind of fun.
All right.
Now we'll get it finished, put her back together, get her completely cleaned up, and then we'll see what we're going to do with her.
All right.
Well, we have her cleaned up. You got to see me try to weld. That didn't go very well.
You got to see me weld poorly.
So
I'm a little out of practice with this one, but this is actually a really good welder.
So we got her cleaned up. Why did you clean it up? Well, I like to do restoration stuff, try to clean them up, make them look pretty, bring back their old style.
I was just going to paint it, and she wanted this to actually look pretty good.
Yeah. So this is one of our flip projects. We have it cleaned up. We're going to resell it.
Yeah, because somehow we actually have to pay for these other projects that we just can't bring ourselves to sell because we need them.
And we also have another one just like it that we might keep. And Maybe.
I've also got at least 3 other welders
Okay.
that need restored, plus a couple that work good, plus 2 that probably can't be fixed. I may have a problem.
I think we have a problem. Thank you for watching.
Till next time, with the next poor decision.